evidence that what we say isn't true. But when we refuse to be terrified, then it's an evident token of salvation that comes from God. We have to know these things, and we have to understand these things if we're going to make a difference in this world. If we're going to present the gospel that can change lives and change hearts and win souls. Let's go on to chapter 2. Beginning at verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Christ, any comfort of love, any fellowship of the Spirit, any bowels of mercies, fulfill ye my joy that ye may be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Let me go through this a little bit and then we'll go on. What is Paul saying here? If there be any consolation in Christ, any comfort of love, fellowship of the Spirit, bowels of mercy, our comfort comes from Christ. Mercy comes from Christ. Compassion comes from Christ. All of these things come from Christ. And what is Paul saying? Fulfill ye my joy that ye be like-minded. That you have that same mindset. That you get your consolation from Christ. That you get your comfort from Christ. That you have that fellowship with the Spirit. That your mercy comes from Christ. Be of that mindset. Be like-minded. And being the same, be of one accord. Be of one mind. Don't do anything through a strife or vainglory or to get attention or whatever. But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than himself. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. That's exactly what Christ did. He humbled himself. He became meek and lowly. That's what he did, and that's how we are supposed to be. In lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Again, I go back to the statements I was making, and I'll say it and move on from it. It's not about us. It's not about what I can get. It's not about what's in it for me. It's about others. It's about presenting Christ to others. It's about helping others. It's about caring for others. It's about putting them ahead of myself. Don't look at what I can get out of it, but look on what others can get, what others need. And that's, at the end of that, is where he throws this in. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. That was Christ's mind. Everybody else. What he was doing for everybody else. What he was suffering for everybody else. It was all about everybody else. And that's how we are supposed to be. That's the mindset that we are supposed to have. Listen in verses 7 and 8. He says, he made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant. Verse 8 there says, he humbled himself and became obedient unto the death, even the death of the cross. This is Christ that did this. He took on himself no reputation. He took on himself the form of a servant. He humbled himself and was obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Why did he do that? Because he loved us that much. Because he cared that much. Because he would want to bring salvation to people. He cared about them. He put them first. That was his mind. And that's the kind of mind that we are supposed to have. I want you to think about this. Just mull it over, meditate on it, think about it, take it with you. But I want you to think about, what is my number one priority? Think about that. What matters to me? Think about that. Paul is saying here that we are at the mind of Christ. Do I have the mind of Christ? What matters to me? What do I put above all else? What is first in my life? We need to think about these things and examine ourselves. Where are we really?
Yes, Lord.
And again, I want to throw this in here. I'm not saying it's wrong for you to enjoy yourself or to have some pleasure or things like that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying Christ must be first. That mind of Christ must be first. Others must be first. It says on here, in here that let nothing be done through strife or vain glory, and lowliness of mind. Let each esteem other better than themselves. And there's other scriptures that say the same things. Nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, having pleasure, and all that kind of stuff. But these things matter. These things are important. And these things are to be our mind. Jump up to verse 12. He says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. What does that mean? What does it mean to work out your salvation? It doesn't mean that you get to decide. It doesn't mean that you're doing works to gain your salvation. That's not what it means. What it means is to fashion your salvation, accomplish your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. We are to live out our salvation, fashion it, accomplish it with reverence, with obedience, with awe, being enabled by God's power, which works in us. Now listen to this again. Work out your own salvation, or accomplish, fashion after your own salvation with fear and trembling. Where is the fear and trembling? It's not talking about being scared and hiding under the bed. This is talking about a holy reverence. This is talking about an obedience and an awe of the majesty and the power of God. Where is that? We have lost that. It's gone away. It's not present in very much of the church anymore at all. But he says to accomplish your salvation with fear and trembling, because it is God that works in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. We have to understand who this God is, and have that reverence, and have that awe, and be obedient, and understand that it is God that works through me, and allow God to work through me, to will and to do of his good pleasure, to use me as he will, to do with me what he will, and to have that reverence and that godly fear and that awe, and understand all of that. And it goes on and he says, do all things without murmuring and disputings. Going on, be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world, holding forth the word of life. So just putting this together here real quick, we're supposed to accomplish our salvation, fashion our salvation with fear and trembling, knowing that God works in us and he will work through us to do of his good pleasure, to do his will, and we are supposed to do it. And the way he puts it here, without murmurings, disputing. Don't buck at it. Don't try to excuse yourself from it. Don't complain about it, but let God use you. We are to be blameless. We are to be harmless. We are to be the children of God, and presenting ourselves, conducting ourselves, speaking in such a way that we are blameless and harmless, that we are without rebuke, because we are in the midst of a crooked and a perverse nation, and we are supposed to shine as lights in the world. We are supposed to hold forth the word of life. We need these things in our mind. We need the mind of Christ. This is why I'm here. Christ knew why he was here. He knew he was here to die. He knew he was here to bring salvation. This is why we are here, to bring the gospel to a lost and a dying world. The way it's put here, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. We are here to shine the light of the gospel. We need to have that mind. That is my purpose. That is my goal. That is my mission. That is why I'm here. That's having the mind of Christ. We're so much more concerned about, I am here to make a living. I am here to enjoy myself. I am here to do this. I am here to do that. For this and for that. And that